You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. The Options Insider Radio Network is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. At Fidelity, you'll always get a great value for your options trades. And with powerful investing tools that provide clear next steps, plus independent research and a wide range of investment types, we can help you make better trading decisions. Learn more about options trading with Fidelity at fidelity.com/options. Options trading entails significant risk and is not appropriate for all investors. Certain complex option strategies carry additional risk. Before trading options, contact Fidelity Investments by calling 800-544-5115 to receive a copy of the characteristics and risks of standardized options. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, October 31st, Halloween 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Wednesday. First thing to know is the Dow was set for triple-digit gains in the final day of grim October. U.S. stock index futures pointed to a positive conclusion to what has been a brutal October for shares, with the Dow set for triple-digit gains ahead of the latest batch of corporate earnings and economic data. Again, that was pre-open. Second thing to know today is GM highlights another busy day of earnings. In earnings, General Motors, Sprint, Yum Brands, Chesapeake Energy, Anthem, GNC Holdings, and Estee Lauder are among the major companies due to publish their latest quarterly figures before the opening bell. AIG, Fitbit, NXP Semiconductors, Express Scripts, Ballard Power Systems, and Solaris Oilfield Infrastructure are among the major companies set to report earnings results after Wednesday's market close. Third thing to know today is Facebook results calm nerves. Facebook relieved investors by forecasting that margins would stop shrinking after 2019 as costs from scandals eased up, sending shares higher in pre-market trade despite a second straight quarter with record low user growth. Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg repeated the company's warning that growing user interest in private messaging, video, and safer content would cause costs to rise faster than revenue for some time. The fourth thing to know today is ADP payrolls data is on tap. On the data front, the market's attention will shift to the U.S. labor market with the ADP's report on private payroll growth, which is often seen as a warm-up act for the big Friday government non-farm payrolls report. Economists expect the ADP report due at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time to show that private payroll growth totaled 189,000 during October. Elsewhere on the economic calendar on Wednesday, investors are likely to keep an eye out for third quarter employment cost index data. That was at 8:30 a.m. Eastern as well, as Chicago PMI data also for October, which was out at 9:45 a.m. Eastern. The dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against the basket of 6 major currencies, was 96.75, having hit an overnight peak of 96.85, the most since August 15th. And the fifth thing to know today is EIA's weekly oil supply report is on tap. In commodity markets, The U.S. Energy Information Administration will release its official weekly oil supplies report for the week ending October 26th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Analysts expect the EIA report to have a climb of around 4.1 million barrels in crude supplies. It confirmed it would be the sixth straight weekly climb in domestic oil inventories. After markets closed Tuesday, the American Petroleum Institute said that U.S. crude supplies rose by 5.7 million barrels last week. Oil prices climbed for the first time in 3 days, drawing support from upcoming U.S. sanctions on Iran, which are due to come into force from next week. Our second story today is from investing.com as well. Dollar scales 16-month highs on cautious BOJ and weak China data. The dollar rose to its highest levels in more than a year on Wednesday as dovish comments by the Bank of Japan and weak data from China reinforced the greenback's attractiveness as an investment destination. Fueled by an overnight rally in equities, Japanese stocks are up more than 2%. The dollar was set for a seventh consecutive month of gains. Eurozone figures have been disappointing, and the Bank of Japan is striking a dovish stance at a policy meeting today, so there's more room for the dollar to gain from current levels, said Paul Bernardzik, director of G10 FX at Continuum Economics, based in London. Our third story today is from CNBC.com. Stock market swings may have hit mortgage applications. They're down 2.5%. Mortgage lenders were less busy last week, even as interest rates held steady. Unlike rates, the stock market saw wide swings, mostly lower, and that may have spooked homebuyers. Total mortgage application volume fell 2.5% last week, compared with the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association's seasonally adjusted index. Volume was 16% lower than a year ago, when mortgage rates were nearly a full percentage lower. Mortgage applications to purchase a home, which are less sensitive to weekly interest rate moves, fell 2% for the week and were 0.4% lower than the same week in 2017. That's the first annual drop since August. And our final story today is straight from CMEgroup.com. CME Group receives CMA clearance for proposed NEX acquisition. CME Group and NEX Group today announced they received clearance from the UK Competition and Markets Authority for CME Group's proposed acquisition of NEX. The completion of the transaction remains subject to sanction by the UK court. Parties have scheduled the court hearing for November 1st, 2018, and expect the closing to occur by November 2nd, 2018. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, October 31st, 2018, your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Trade smart and have a happy Halloween.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.